So you want some tax sale overages free training? Well, you come to the right place because my whole business is overages. So I'll teach you about this business and hopefully move you forward a little bit. So first of all, what are tax sale overages? Because overages is kind of a strange word, right? Like, what does that even mean? Well, that is money that's left over when a property is sold at a tax foreclosure auction. And that's an auction that happens not because of IRS taxes, but because someone didn't pay their real estate taxes. So if you don't pay your real estate taxes for 3 to 4 years, in virtually every jurisdiction in America, they will sell your house out from under you because they need that money. They got to pay primarily for schools, for road repairs, for trash removal, for the county government, for the mayor, for the library, all the stuff that local government has to pay for. And they don't have the ability like the federal government to just print money and run deficits. They don't have that ability. So they're deadly serious about collecting the money. So if you don't pay for 3 to 4 years, they will sell your house. And here's the thing. When it's a house, typically it's going to sell for a lot more than those 3 or 4 years worth of taxes. And that makes sense. And here's why. Generally, taxes are a little under 2% of the home value in a given year. So just for example, if you have a sort of average house in America, which is about a $400,000 house, your tax bill is probably a little under $8,000 per year. If you fall, let's say worst case scenario, 4 years behind in taxes, so 4 years behind, that's $32,000 in taxes that are due. Plus, interest and penalties, as you probably know, with unpaid taxes are really, really high. So just to be sort of realistic, let's just double what you owe. So instead of owing $32,000, let's say for round figures you owe $60,000. It's a lot of money, which is why they take it so seriously. But on a $400,000 house, it's not much money relative to the value of the house. So when that $400,000 house sells at a tax sale auction, it's going to sell for somewhere between 70 to 80% of its as-is value. So let's just say it's in okay shape, it's worth $400,000. It's probably going to sell for $280,000 to $300,000 at the auction, which makes sense because if you think about it, if you go to the auction and you're a bidder and you get a $400,000 house for $300,000, which is $100,000 off, you're like dancing for joy. Like, this is amazing. I saved $100,000. It's great. But think of it from the former owner's perspective. So former owner owes $60,000 in taxes. His house was just sold for $300,000. That essentially means there's $240,000 not accounted for because the county needs $60,000 to pay the taxes. So it sweeps that off the table. But they collected $300,000 at the auction. So that money is left over and available for the former owner to claim. Now you might think, well, how can that be? Well, it can be because that is the law of the land. The U.S. Supreme Court, in a 9-0 decision, they all agreed on something, which is its own miracle. On a 9-0 decision, in the case of Tyler versus Hennepin County, which you can look up if you want, they said that this money has to be made available for former owners to claim. Now, they didn't say that they had to send them checks. They just said there has to be a process whereby a former owner can apply and get the money. And the thing is, most former owners have no idea there even could be any extra money. They think, well, they sold my house, so they keep the money. Well, that's not the case in tax sales. In tax sales, what is the case? They sold your house, they get the cost of selling it, they get their taxes, they get their interest and penalties and all that. But the rest of the money is available for the former owner to claim if they put in a claim for it. Since former owners don't know about it, they don't claim it. And the statistic that I was able to gather after a lot of research was that 72% of the time, the money doesn't get claimed. So about 28% of the time it does get claimed. The rest of the time it doesn't. So I translate that in my simple mind to 7 out of 10 chance they're not going to get this money. And why? Because they don't know about it. That's all. It's really that simple. They don't know there's a process. They don't know there's any possibility. Instead, they kind of, go off depressed and sad, trying to find a new place to live, trying to find a place they could bring the family dog, trying to explain to their kids how this happened. It's awful. Absolutely awful. So the business of overages or excess funds is locating these monies. There are lists of them. So you can get lists from the foreclosing tax authority, lists of money that's left over from the foreclosure sale. And then you look up the contact information for the people that are owed the money. You reach out to them. You may send them a letter. You may call them on the phone, you might send them a message on Facebook, but the point is you reach out to them, get in communication with them, and say, hey, I know where there's this money that you could potentially claim. Would you be interested in working with me to do that? You're not telling them where the money is. That's your research. That's not something that they have a right to. But you tell them, I found this money, and for a contingent fee, meaning I'll get paid if and when I'm successful, I'll go and do the work and hopefully get this money. If it's not successful, it doesn't cost you anything. If it is successful, which I really think it will be, then you get a big windfall. Would you like to do this with me? And that is basically the business. It's really a great business. What I love about the business is that we're helping people who have lost everything. They're sad and depressed and upset because they've allowed their house to be sold out from under them, that when I show up and get them a big check, you can knock these people over with a feather. They're so excited, happy. It's a whole rejuvenation in their life because now they have a big lump sum of money. Imagine if you got someone, say that there's $240,000 left over and you charged a fee of, let's say, $40,000, which is a lot of money, but you got them $200,000 that they otherwise thought they would get nothing from. Can you imagine the feeling in that person, how elated they feel, how elevated, how it's a whole new fresh start? That's what this business is about. It's about helping people in an amazing and terrific way, and you can be a part of that. So to learn more, I recorded a video that's, it's 15 to 20 minutes long. It's an intro to the Overages business. You can go check that out. It's free right here on YouTube. That'll get you deeper in. And what I will tell you to leave this is be encouraged. This is my favorite business I've ever had. We have a big business doing the Overages business. We're out there every day reaching out to people, letting them know there's money available, see if they want to work with us. Some people do, some people don't. I can't change that. But every day we're doing that. We sign up lots of people. We get them lots of money, and they are so happy, and it's such an elevation and an increase in their life. Is really a great business. Doesn't cost a lot of money to start, doesn't cost a lot of money to run, and you could do really, really well with it. So I'm going to offer you just the greatest encouragement that you're on the right track. This is a really great business for people who want to help people and make great money. If that's you, this is a great business. So your next step, go down, click on the intro to the Overages business video, and you take it from there. And if you want to leave comments down below or additional questions, my staff generally goes and sort of collects at least all the questions together. We look them over, and we'll do follow-up videos on questions where we get a bunch of that kind of question or looks like something people are really interested in. So put questions in there, and I'll do what I can to get to them. And also, put comments. We do try to adjust our videos for comments and things like that, and to do a better job to help get this information out there. So thanks for being here. Click on the intro to Overages video below. Subscribe to this channel if you're interested in overages, because I can promise this is the place to be for this, because this is my whole business and it's something I really love to do and talk about. So it's Attorney Bob Diamond. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.